Hello, everybody on YouTube, and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 20, Week 2. Today, we're taking a look at Maledict Plague Theory, the GRaff team, taking on I Have No Wards, and I Must Stream, the Hollywood team. The Hollywood's not here today. And I tried to tab out and was caught by an immediate pause. Very nice. With me here today
Nice.
is Inno.
Yo.
And Ransoms.
Hello.
And we have a big comment here from chat. It's from Hollywood. And it says, fuck Inno.
Yo, get your name out my damn mouth, dude. Or your damn mouth. There's too many. Everyone's typing Inno in chat right now. That's bad.
That's a Will Smith moment right now.
10 seconds
It is.
And
No
have you
Shadow
guys
Show.
played either of these teams yet?
5 seconds
I don't think so, actually. No,
Okay.
Yeah,
Maybe.
you've played...
probably not. Have we? I don't know.
You've played... Who the hell did you play week 1?
Did you play the GRaff team?
Brion team. We played
Yeah,
Brion
you played
team.
the Brion team.
Oh,
This
yeah,
week you played
okay.
Rauk.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Okay. So this is good info for both of us.
This is good
Sort
info.
of.
I'm gonna use this for sure. Although we have a drafter for our team, so.
Oh,
Meg-
I see.
Meg is like a dedicated. He's really good at it, by the way. I'll recommend him to everybody after the season. The guy is on it.
Meg?
He's like Omega good drafter, yeah.
Oh,
And he
Megumin! I thought
actually,
you meant
like-
Megara.
yeah.
Like, holy shit,
No,
Megara's back?
Megaman. No, Megaman. He actually does
Okay.
so much work, and it makes it super easy.
There you
It's
go.
nice.
Yeah, it's kind of been a group effort on our team. Like we generally do like a lot of group scouting, and then we'll discuss it the day before, the day of, and then kind of discuss it during the draft. So it's been interesting.
Yeah, no, he's like looking at where they ward. He like knows the ward spots. I shouldn't
Okay,
be giving
that's
out so much,
above.
but you know, he puts in a lot of work. It's good.
I'd like
Hell
to
yeah, that's
say, it's very interesting to note here. It's actually something I was talking about. 2-minute ad. Oh no.
Oh no.
So Lich first.
But
then.
before we get
yeah,
into
let's
it, I will
Yeah,
say, it is interesting. I was talking before the stream, well, before the recording started, about how Looter has not really played particularly much Dota in the last few years. So it's very interesting to see. GRaff is trying to drop a piano on this guy. Banned 2 big Looter heroes right off the bat. I think he plays the Necro too, though I would guess that was probably mostly for Purple Moon Jelly as well.
Yeah.
The Necro. What else? The Beastmaster? Is that the other big one?
Yeah, the
I think
Beastmaster,
Beastmaster's
the
a
Necro,
signature.
the
That's a
Nature's
signature
Prophet.
hero, I think. Yeah.
I would say his
The
Prophet is.
Beastmaster.
It's the hero
Think
he's
so?
most associated with.
All right,
I think
so,
maybe
like,
I just forced him to pick fucking Beastmaster every time I played with him.
That's true.
Mm.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, the bans have been, excuse me, kind of all over the place.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
this really
ask,
seems no
is-
strategy here.
Because like I get like this, I think the Rasta ban is pretty standard. I think people are knowing that that hero is a big impact as a 4 or a 5, so it makes sense. I think. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like the
Yeah,
DP,
he's a
I
strong,
think is
strong hero. Very
Yeah.
strong.
yeah. I think the DP feels targeted because I don't feel like I see it a lot in pubs. It feels like a specialist hero a lot of times these days.
I'll say this: if
Yeah.
I'm doing the first pick though, if I have first pick, I'm not gonna ban the Shaman until like the last ban I get, just because there's a
Mhm.
decent enough chance that the second pick team is just gonna ban it anyway, right?
Yeah.
It's one of
And
those
then you can
heroes
get
right
it
now.
potentially.
Yeah, you could get
Yeah.
it potentially, or they'll just eat the ban for you, have one ban less.
I think probably what people are running into is that people don't play it because I think it has fallen out of favor like a patch or two ago, and then very recently within the last 2 patches it got really strong again, and so that's why I think people are banning it because if they don't have a 4 or 5 that is comfortable on the hero, they'd rather not risk it. Is my opinion, but I could be
The
wrong.
Lord 777
Yeah.
underscore TTV
No, I
just
think
deployed
that's
their
fair.
very first sub.
Shout
It's
outs
also just
to
such a good hero.
shout outs
Good
to
ban.
Megaman for the sub. For the record, by the way, I apologies to folks for the ads. I should say this. I wasn't gonna do this. I was not going to get affiliate and run ads in these streams. But to be honest with you, financially, things for me not super great, and it's only thanks to the ad revenue and the subs this season that I'm honestly able to do this instead of having to take a second job that's going to occupy me on like Wednesday nights and stuff. So,
Here
apologies
you go,
for the
guys.
ad,
Amazon
folks,
Prime.
and shout
Use
outs
your
to
Amazon
the subs.
Prime.
And for the record, yeah, Amazon Prime, any sub will
free, guys.
immediately get rid of the ads. I have that set. Shoutouts to Karisu as well,
35 just
actually.
deployed their very
All I
first
had to
sub.
do was talk about how miserable I am, and there you go. But
There
yeah,
you go, dude.
if you
Prime.
sub, you do not get ads ever. Does not play. Oh no, it's this stupid hype train
W
thing.
Prime,
Oh
W
god, get out of
Prime.
here.
Drop those primes, boys. There we go.
I forgot
Nice,
to turn
nice,
this off
nice.
after last stream. Whoops. Anyway,
The
holy
OG
shit,
games,
another one.
that
Denny
feels
underscore Crispin
OG
just
feels
deployed their
super
very first
targeted,
sub.
right? Like that's not a pretty common hero. Is there someone on this GRaff team that is a OD spammer?
Big shoutouts to Dusty as well. God damn, it's all coming in. Is there somebody on the GRaff team that's a big spammer? Yes, his name is Gotham. He picks that hero
okay.
every game.
So then the Razor on the GRaff team also feels counter, like I
in
get like
chat
the
right
Axe
now?
ban. Axe makes sense to me. Like
Who's in chat
Oh
right
Oh
now?
my
boys?
god, Inno just did 10
Innovative
gift
Ave
subs.
just pressed 10 people into
Who's in
Oh.
chat? You all good? You'll
They're
no
up to
ads
10
for you
now.
guys, right? Not while I'm casting. You need to hear. I love when people hear my voice, so you know.
Damn, what a true Chad this guy is.
I think my
Absolute
favorite
maniac.
comment so far was Inno catching strays, but we're all aiming for him, so makes sense.
That's fair.
So, the
Okay, so
Olympics
talking
right
about
now,
this,
by the way.
what
yeah,
is-
we've,
what is
we've been
this-
saw the weeds.
What is this? What is this Dawn Tide pick? Like, so
Yeah.
is this a Tide 1 or a Dawn 1?
It could be the wacky Tide 1 strategy. Yeah, Looter got his sub, now he doesn't need to complain about the ads. You could be the wacky, You know what, I want to know. I think it shows who got the
Is-
subs.
Tide 1? Tide 1 could be cool.
The
I think that's
Looter
fun.
team, the Looter draft so far seems like very standard, right? You have like probably a 5 Lich, 4 Disruptor maybe, and then we got Mars like strong in the right hands with good timings in the arena, and then on the Dire side, right, like Witch Doctor Silencer. I think it's kind of a more interesting 4-5 combo, right? I think you like to see like probably Witch Doctor 4 if I had to guess for the stun.
Yeah.
Oh, now this is really
Ooh,
wild.
Primal Beast,
Primal.
mid,
Oh,
probably,
mid.
right?
Yeah, mid
Befo-
primal. Yeah.
Before I
Huh.
complain about this stream, I just want to point out that Gundam, Ad Forum, Adam, Looter, Wink X11, and Doughboy all got subs here, along with like a bunch of people I have literally never heard of in my life. So shoutouts to those guys. Yeah, I feel like the Dire team right now is very hamstrung by their cooldowns. They are going to only be able to fight like once every 3.5 hours. Frankly, they got a really big damage problem. In fairness, I think both teams kind of have a damage problem. Basically, all of the actual damage that's going to be coming out of Dire, unless Dawnbreaker like super pops off, because remember, she is not really what she used to be. Unless that Dawnbreaker super pops off, basically all the damage on Dire right now is going to be coming from the Witch Doctor ult. And if that gets ruined any form or fashion, like, here's a weird, crazy scenario for you. Witch Doctor gets the best ult of his life, right? He gets the Death Ward along with the 5 people. Mars has a trait where the arena blinds you, and he just, like, blocks his team with it. Or blocks the Witch Doctor away from his team with it, right? Like, that's a weird, obscure interaction, but you do that and the team fight is over. You do the Lich Gaze, you do the Disruptor Glimpse, you have the Primal Beast just run over him. Doesn't
I
Silencer
think
shit
that this
damage?
is like they have so much burst also on this this Radiant team that I don't see this Witch Doctor getting much off unless they let him. Right? You got a Primal Beast, you got a Mars, you got a Disruptor that can cancel his channel. Like you got Lich can cancel,
Yes.
like Mars can cancel, Primal Beast can cancel. Anyone on the team can cancel his channel right now. So if you're putting all your damage on this Witch Doctor, I don't think it's gonna work out for you long term.
They are talking
All of
about
them
the
can-
Silencer. I will say, Silencer doesn't really do that much damage as a support, and he has to be alive for a long time in the fight to do a lot of damage as a support, and it's really not looking likely that's going to be the case here.
Yeah,
He
I
needs
agree.
a very large mana pool, and he has to be able to just sit there and hit people for a uninterrupted amount of time, like for get the stacks up and
Yeah.
for on the glaives and stuff. And every single person on the Radiant team right now can actually just walk at the silencer
You
and
just
hurt
walk
him.
up to.
Yeah, exactly. Every single hero on the Radiant, even the Lich can just walk at the
Can frost
silencer.
shield himself and just
Yep,
walk at him.
yep.
Yeah, it's just
So
not gonna
it's
go well for you.
kind
I
of
really
tough.
like Radiant's team just with any combination of stuff here. Like Disruptor can glimpse back into Mars Arena or towards a
hold
Mars
on.
Spear.
So
do we
look at
got?
this. The Radiant banned the Viper. Oh, for the
Oh,
Dusa. Okay. So I was gonna say
yeah.
that banning the Viper was kind of an interesting. I guess because Dire has last pick, because the Viper actually would have been a great pick against this team with the Tide and the Dawn, right? Like both of them
Yeah.
hate playing that hero. So
I
it
will
must have
say,
been
I do feel like you would be setting yourself up for a potential Doomsday Clock Morphling. I do think you would be another influence, another example of the bad influence that Greg and Claire have had on this league. That we're picking this morph again.
I just realized why I hate this Dire draft because Gotham's on that team.
There you go.
That makes a lot of sense now.
I think you would have had the potential issue of if the Dire picked like even a decent scaling hero, because that Viper guy, he does not scale that well. Mars,
No.
even when he's like ballin', is still not really. People kind of you can kind of run Mars late game, but he's not gonna beat like any real scaling hero. I think is a better way to put it.
He's more of a like tempo mid game hero, like Mars is, right? Like that's what he provides. Is like you get really great like tempo plays with the arena, and like the mid game is like really tough if he's got early blink, with a Yules, something like that to lock people down.
I think I generally favor the Radiant draft here.
Hard to disagree with that. Like it feels
really.
No. I think the Radiant draft feels easier to execute, right? Like they have two. Like Primal's good mid, Mars is good off. They have two strong frontliners. The support duo is very strong, like with what they're trying to do, right? Like glimpse into Lich Gaze into Arena or Stomp, like is hard to deal with. Like you have the Silencer global, yes, but if someone already got glimpsed and then the global comes out, that like then when they're already out of position.
To death. Yeah,
exactly. It's tough. It's really tough.
I think especially in LD2L, it's easier. Like drafts are just kind of they usually win games, right? Because for a lot of lower and more players that might not have like the mechanical skill to pull off more complicated drafts, like the ones like Gotham prefers. So it's just usually easier to have some click and points, point and click stuns, and figure it out from there. Honestly.
Funnily enough, I do actually think that's actually kind of gone down over the years, right? Like I feel like draft matters a lot less right now than it did when I first started in the league. Partially because just the way parity of heroes has changed over time, and partially just because with the facets, with the traits, with the new items that are in the game, there's a lot of like pasting over the weaknesses of your heroes, right? Like there's a lot of facets or facets, traits, even shards, innates that are basically just removes the problem that your hero has, and thus I feel like it does feel like it matters a lot less. There's a lot of times where it's like this would have been an instant game losing draft like 3-4 years ago, and then they win on it just because they're able to work with that.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do think there are cases where a really bad draft straight up loses you the game no matter all those things, though.
Yeah, I think it has to be like really rotten. I don't think the GRaff lineup is rotten.
No,
but
I agree.
I definitely would not favor them with the advantage going out of it. Like, for starters, I think the Morphling thing they're running it on one. I feel like they
go even on the bounty runes too. So like that actually. I feel like could have been a lot worse. I think for the Radiant, like on the like initial team fight, right? It could have been really bad. Mars Spear, Trample, Sinister Gaze. Oh, Lich dies.
Okay, let's take a look at this. What happens here? Oh, they just kind of accidentally set up a little ambush, or maybe deliberately set up a little ambush. Yeah, they just have guys who are just happen to be coming from 3 places for other reasons.
Oh no, he TP'd too! Oh,
Oof.
that's a rough start.
Yeah, that is not
Tied
great.
Gush level 1 though. Like, I mean, first blood, but at what cost?
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
you know, regardless of draft, I think if you
Actually,
communicate
against the
this
Deuce,
well, that's pretty.
yeah.
That's gonna be big in the long term, right? If they're communicating like this, if they're setting things up like this all game, good pickoffs,
Yeah.
the
Like,
draft's
hey,
not
I'm
gonna
standing.
matter at all. Yeah, like,
I'm,
let's go on
I'm
this guy.
standing
Like,
here. Yeah, I'm standing
yeah.
here. If he walks up, let's go. Yeah, that's actually true.
I felt like that
And
was
actually, I
very
don't-
decisive last suit. Gush level 1 is the best, Gush level 1 is normal. I think it depends on what you're laning against. I think in a lane that looks like this with a guy like this, I kind of
Yeah.
like it because Silencer is going to be able to throw right-click damage on top of that, and so it's fine.
Yeah.
Gets to trade on
I
the
think-
range creeps. I feel like I like it more when the enemy pods one's a lot more passive, and especially when they're melee.
Yep. So that was a situation I dealt with the other week. I was playing on melee boss 1, and I really wanted the anchor smash because I needed to be in there, and so. But against this lane, it definitely feels a lot better. I agree.
But I think the Radiant has very good. To get back to a point I was trying to make 15 minutes ago, I think the Radiant has just a lot of good combos on their team. I don't really know. It feels like the Dire has the classic situation that I feel like I see a lot with the Tidehunter pick in particular, where it's like, okay, this is like the same thing, but it's not really additive. It's like the Dawnbreaker ult is kind of, you know, right now, really, I think Ravage is mostly a counter initiate, right? Like, you want to be initiating with yourself, really. That's kind of what you're built more for now. You get in deep, you go for the big anchor, you make yourself a threat so they have to get in on you, then you hit the Ravage, right? I think that's where you want to be usually with Tidehunter, unless they have like a billion stuns or you have some good reason not to do it. And thus, as a result, it's pretty redundant with how you want to operate the Dawnbreaker ult. It does pretty much the same for you there. It doesn't really add that much more damage. The healing is nice, but you got a big fat stun anyway, so why do you need that? Oh my god, what's happening to Morphling? Oh, he's just sitting there with 1 HP, casually, okay. Purple Moon Jelly, quick, throw the Spear at the Fog. I got dropped from the call, what happened?
I don't
Looks
know.
like he's still here.
I'm back now.
Yeah, I'm back.
I'm back now.
I
think my Discord might have just temporarily hitched there. That happens sometimes in Dota, unfortunately. Oh, looks like both sides you have a trade going on here at the Lotus Pit. Rada very low HP. He's gonna die to the Anchor Smash, so well, he would be happier if he had the other trade, but hey, he's still happy with that, I think. Meanwhile, nobody actually dies up here at the. Oh, Jesus Christ, what's happening?
You too. Weird.
Okay, yeah, because it looks like I can talk to you in real time, but well, stream's catching up.
Yeah,
stream's
it's
catching up.
just my Discord is just hitching. Sorry about that.
Gotcha,
No worries.
you're all good.
I thought it was my connection, so I like closed every single fucking browser.
Yeah,
and, like,
it was my probably disk usage, if I'm guessing. Oh no, not my disk usage. So I don't know what's going on here. Something strange. Either way, while we were
Okay, so
diagnosing
we
that,
just-
we missed this.
we just missed 2 kills. Yeah, what happened here?
Yeah, it's
Scoob?
a bloodbath.
So hold on. This
Rada
is the
died
third
at
kill.
the Lotus Pit, and now he died here. It's not great.
Oh, is that what happened? He died.
Yeah.
Next to
Yeah.
the 3-minute Lotus.
He
God,
took,
I
he took
missed
the he
that.
took the
Okay.
Lotus, and he did actually get it, but he did not live with it. It's kind of a
Ah,
rough situation.
that's rough. So yeah, I mean now that lane actually looks really great for them. Like Lich dying back to back like that is brutal for.
Yeah.
Top lane too right now. This Witch Doctor's just manning up on these two. Like he's 2v1ing this lane and trading efficiently. Like that's kind of crazy.
I mean, he has to. Look how much
Looks like
HP
he's walking
Morphling
to.
has.
That's true.
Yeah, I think the Morph got rocked in the initial like lane clash and lost his courier at some point. I think I missed that, but
Oh, here comes Primal
Here
Beast.
comes
with the
Primal
gank.
coming in from mid.
ooh,
Nice.
bye bye.
You know, this game has been so crazy. I just realized I never did the roll call, so I guess I better do that, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
On! I have no words, and I must scream. Pause 1, you've got Winks, who might not be here next week, depending on how this game goes, on the Medusa. Pause 2, you've got Looter on the Primal Beast. Pause 3, you've got Purple Moon Jelly on the... Son of a bitch, I'm doing the roll call, Rada. Don't die during that. You should have known I wouldn't be able to do it until 5 minutes in the game. Let's see how this is happening. Oh no, this is just... He's just dying so fast at this point. He
Oh
is melting.
man.
That's just so. Go back 10 seconds. Was he trying to contest this pull and he just got
Yeah,
like, way too far?
no,
up?
he's just trying to do a pull here.
Oh, he was trying to pull their camp. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's tough with their. I think where their wave was, but.
0-4, and unfortunately for him, he's been around Silencer every time this has happened. So he's lost 4 int off of this.
Loses
He
game
isn't
done.
much, but
Oof.
A little stupid.
Ooh,
Sorry,
this is a little
Renee.
awkward.
Renee
Okay,
did
well,
not
actually,
get the gift sub. But yeah, the really kind of rough for Rada though. Notably, the Medusa's not actually doing that bad in last hits. It's like Rada is catching the Lich is catching all the pain here. I have another kill going on, by the way. Very
There's a
aggressive
bloodbath.
play.
There's 4 heroes top at 5 minutes. It's insane.
1 second to
Oh,
the.
GRaff doesn't
oh
have-
my God!
oh,
Silencer's here.
damn.
Silencer came in through the twin gate.
What's happening?
Absolutely nuts. So.
Dude,
I feel like
one
bottom
kill a minute.
as Lich, you just need to relax and let your Medusa farm. But he's kind of trying to do too much when he doesn't need to.
Oh, they had the.
Okay,
They had
this is a
pull
good
in here.
rotation. Yeah, that's great actually.
Good counterattack on the lot of lads. Looter's gonna take the money rather than anyone in the bot lane, but I'm sure they still appreciate it. Either way, one thing I was talking about is notably, even though the Lich has died 4 times now, the Medusa has been totally fine. She's still pretty high up in the last hits chart. She's ahead of everybody on the Dire, but they're mid. And the Tidehunter, on the other hand, while he's got a bunch of kills, has gotten like no creeps whatsoever. Basically, he's not really been contesting with his gush. He's been just killing with it. So.
Yeah.
I would guess. Yeah, if you look at the net worth chart, even though it looks like this should be a mile ahead for the Dire, they're actually, like, Tide's actually behind after the death.
Yeah,
Actually,
I mean,
really just like that Winx isn't buying clarities right now.
Oh,
I feel like he's had so many opportunities to do it.
doesn't need him,
this is
apparently.
Yeah,
this
I
is
guess not.
so
He's a Chad.
Yep.
Okay.
Either way, back to the roll call. So,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Pause 2 Looter, pause 3 you've got Purple Moon Jelly on the Mars, pause 4 you've got Peaches standing in for Hollywood on the Disruptor, and pause 5 you got Rada G Gast on the Lich.
Hope Medusa dies here.
And,
He deserved this for not buying clarities.
Medusa very
Oh,
low,
no.
and no, it's actually gonna be Lad.
No!
Takes the fall.
Oh,
That is
no!
Barely
crazy.
walked away. Gotham was taking a funny little route here to try and cut them off, but actually didn't make it. Did not get there in time. They just ran the other way.
Oh, that's a brutal overcommit by the Tide, though. That's
Yeah.
really rough.
Yeah, he's
Right? Did he get it?
he's a level
like,
down now.
yeah.
Even though he has, even though he's 2-2 and 2, he's a level down. On the other hand,
Yeah,
though,
it's kind
so is the
Oof,
Witch
yeah.
Doctor, who's been
Doctor.
dominating in this lane. He's gone now.
I mean, like.
Meanwhile,
it's
on the other
unfortunate,
side
but
of
he
the
is
coin,
kind of securing this morph lane, though, right? Like with how aggressive he's been, it's like the morph is above the Mars. At least in last hits, like their denies are kind of close. What's the net worth look like on the morph versus the Mars right now?
about the same.
Okay, so I mean, I think without the aggression there, right? Like the morph gets sacked, right? Like if the Witch Doctor's not playing this aggressive and this far up, I don't think he has anywhere near this kind of lane, right? Because the Disruptor and the Mars could just run at him otherwise, unless the Witch is in their face, you know, messing with their stuff. So
On Maledict Plague Theory, what was that TP? Maledict Plague Theory, pause 1. You've got Wacko Dubs on the Morphling, pause 2. You've got, this is not the guy who's mid here. Where is he?
Dawnbreaker.
Where is he? There he is. He's in the fountain.
No.
He's Dawnbreaker, being played by GRaff, captain of the team. Pause 3, you've got Lada Lads on the Tidehunter. Pause 4, you've got Gotham on the Silencer. Pause 5, you've got Chon, aka a random clown, on the Witch Doctor, who
that was an
just
interesting jump.
rang up the Dawnbreaker here to try and get this kill, but it was just barely.
Oh no, Peaches could have
wow.
kept running.
That was so close.
No, Pages definitely could not have kept running there. Dawnbreaker's face boots were about to come off of cooldown, but we'll pretend that was the case anyway. Another big go here, another kill on the Lich is going to be responded with a kill on the Silencer. 2-1 and 4, 6 stolen in right now.
You know, Looter's really doing a lot of work on this team right now. He's kind of keeping the. If Looter wasn't making these rotations, I feel like it'd be 2-7, and it's just
Yeah,
not
if-
a good
yeah.
time for
If
anybody.
it was not for these rotations on the part of Looter here, this would be a much rougher game. I think that's one of Looter's biggest upsides as a mid. It's something that he's developed since he first returned here, because when he first returned here a couple of seasons ago, Looter's big gimmick at mid was that he was like the always stalemate guy. Like, he would pick these heroes and he would play it such a way that he never really won, never really lost. He would always just go even, and that was his big thing. But you know, he's been developing this strategy of these like constant aggressive rotations, and for the most part, it seems like it's been generally better for him than not. Look at how deep
This
behind
is
the lines
interesting,
Latolaz is
yeah.
here.
Just crazy. They're just
Mars
farming
gonna kinda walk into it.
for Lich. Oh
Yeah.
no.
No
That's
stolen
too
in this
much
time,
play.
at least.
Because what, I guess GRaff just stayed in the lane. Did lads just like walk through the jungle to kind of get there? Because
Yeah,
it
we're
seemed
just
like
walking
the
through the GG
because
jungle.
Looter had walked up. Oh man. Ooh,
Going
this could be
to
bad.
use the Medusa ult to try and get out of here. The Latolaz is actually going to pop the first, the inaugural Ravage to buy the time. They're outnumbered here. It's 3-2, and they do not really have any mana
Peaches,
on the
no.
Titan
Oh, Dusa
anymore.
gets
Global
out, though.
Silence, but the Global Silence sadly comes
Oh,
a
he's
little
dead.
too late.
He's dead.
Global Silence not really as effective on Primal bases as it is on most heroes. 'cause
Oh,
it's just
Looter's pacing
so
too
Wow.
deep
it's
here.
very-
Oh, dude, lads getting out here is insane. He was dead to rights there for sure without the GRaff like save on the Disruptor.
If you're wondering, Mars is currently beating up creeps in the top lane.
Yikes.
The
Oh,
no, you're stacking your
Okay,
stuns. Predator's
okay.
gonna be pissed. The Rudda,
This is,
the Lich has actually respawned back in. Looter tries to
oh no.
get this. Oh no, the Witch Doctor is here, guaranteed kill. No, the
Dead,
neutral
for sure.
creeps! Oh my god, that's so sad.
Oh,
That would have
that's
been
might have gone on
huge
for
if
way
it
too
wasn't for
long.
that camp.
Yeah, as soon as the Maledict kicked, he 100% was gonna die, but it was, I guess, not determined to be creeps or enemy team.
That was so sad. That was such a huge kill. If it was if it was not the creeps, I think he's carrying. Yeah, he's carrying the lion's share of the money on the die right now. GRaff actually at the top of the charts right now for net worth, and though Winks on the Medusa was keeping up for a very long time in the lane, you know, the end of lane phase as it was, she's been slipping down the charts. Lucky for her, she's at least a hero that that farms very quickly. So there's that at least.
It's interesting. I wonder why the Mars didn't choose to go down there, like through portal or like something else. I feel like they could have secured, you know,
to
like
piss off Dusty. He knew
You know,
Dusty was going to watch the
that
game in flame.
the supports should be up there with the Mars because you want to take this T1 tower, open up that side of the map for your Medusa. She can farm a little more efficiently in that triangle, make those rotations into the creep wave, and they're kind of not doing that. It's an easy to execute draft, but they're not executing the way they need to. They keep playing this dead lane down here. There's obviously 3 strong heroes. You know, they lost bottom, so going here is kind of like a waste of their time, I think. They should be just up with the Mars, in my opinion.
You
Yeah,
know,
I think
this
I
is so interesting because we favored the Radiant draft here, like a lot, right? And the Dire are executing way better with these, like the rotations and just like preserving the safe lane for the morph, right? Like they have really kept the safe lane open like significantly longer than you would imagine, right? At this point in the stage of the game, right?
Yeah, because
They
of
are
that,
going to
there's
get a
no
good
reason
counterattack
more.
here.
There we go.
The Dawnbreaker almost overcommits to this fight and just taken out as a result. Mars is
Nice little
guaranteed dead.
Oh, I don't know, morph. No, can he get through? This is real.
No,
this is
he's
real.
super
This is
dead.
rough.
Yep,
Yeah.
the
rough, yeah.
Disruptor roll is completely
Lads
killing
is trying
him
to
here.
get in. Okay,
Lads
well,
is
lads.
dead.
Ooh, they might.
There's
clean up
nobody
this,
left
though.
to
This is
stop
actually-
the Tidehunter, so the big scary watermelon is just going to charge over them here, especially with the Arcane
Curse.
coming
He
out.
might. Oh, they can't stop this.
Nope.
Right?
Yes, they can. They're going to drop the Ravage for it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Open Peaches. You know,
Okay.
that's a play. That's a play. I respect it for what it is. I
Those are
respect the
friends,
play.
you know.
Yeah.
Pages and Ladle Lads, they often queue together.
Dire's bottom tower
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean,
And Gotham as well, actually.
Radiant's top tower
I
is under
would
attack.
like if you had like asked me like when that was happening, would he commit Ravage for that? I was like, never. Like not with him and a silencer, right? Like no chance. I was like, why bother? But okay.
I guess if you didn't need it for the actual fight, right? So that was a crazy fight, and sadly, the only fight recap we get out of it is that the Disruptor died. So you don't
Yeah,
get to see
despite the
gold
fact
sand.
that they've been fighting for the last like 6 minutes, it feels like. Yeah,
Let's
look at this
let's
graph. Yeah.
let's assume this graph is accurate, and looks like even though it was really a big spike in Radiant's favor when they killed the
they're going on
GRaff,
Mars
they
ult
lost.
there.
Oh my god. They're in
This is
very
rough. They
deep.
got-
This is a Mars ult that got nothing done. You would think it was the other team that used the arena here.
Go back. It looks like he trapped 4 of them in there. Can you go back? Like it looks like he trapped way too many people in with just himself.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
find out. He has the trait, right? No, he does not actually have the trait. The
Oh
Maledict
no,
is
it's just
got
true.
one.
Okay, yeah. Oh, but the
They just
Dawn
all
gets
charged
yeah.
in there. Yeah.
They get
The Dawn gets
inside
in.
the Disruptor very
Disruptor
quickly
dies
dying out here.
Immediately, yeah. Ooh,
Mars
does the Lich die now?
following. All Lich can do is protest.
No.
Kind of sad. They
think
definitely
committing
should have waited
was-
on that. They had the Chain Frost.
Yeah, they need to
about
wait.
go.
They need to wait for Disruptor and Chain Frost. Like, they need to wait for Lich and Disruptor ults, and they're kind of not doing it. They just decided to cast it on the one player for no reason.
Yep.
A little rough.
Though there is one thing to keep your eye on, and that is that this Medusa has been just slow. Okay, what is going on here? Morph, don't like randomly die to this. Good God. Okay.
No, he can shift out easy.
Yeah, he could
I like-
shift out, but he was
I
just
like the-
he was just choosing not to do it for a minute just to make you sweat.
I
Daddy
like
chill.
the voice lines there.
Yeah.
That sounds a little sus. Daddy chill and don't resist the Cobra is not a good combination of voice lines.
Yeah.
Oh man, this.
Global Silence
Okay,
and the
there's
Witch
the
Doctor
big
are going to get
Witch
rid of the Primal Beast here. It's going to come at a kind of great
Oh,
cost.
but here comes the Dawn. Ooh, okay, all right.
Yep, Dawnbreaker
nope,
goes
Dawn's
in
gonna-
deep. Medusa is here. This is a little scary. I'm gonna get rid of the silence here. They're splitting up the way they're leaving this fight, which I like a lot. What?
Ooh,
I
the
don't
Professor
like
in.
They're getting
Medusa's
they're trying to go
here.
for the greedy kill. I hate this. Don't do that. They're gonna get out.
This feels
Yeah.
awkward, really awkward.
Oh, well, especially if that happens.
They're really
I think
chasing
Vlad-
this Medusa.
3 seconds to
and
Ravage.
another
This could be the
2 PM.
greatest Ravage of this guy's life. But no, it's almost like they realized it and they immediately started backing off.
Ooh, I don't feel. I think they both
Nope.
die here for sure.
Nope. Yep,
Yeah.
they just both die.
Wow.
That was like crazy talk. I think they absolutely could have just gotten out of there. They were splitting up very effectively, and then they just tried to turn
Yeah.
around and get the kill on the Medusa, and they just didn't get her. And like it was a very unlikely kill to begin with.
They,
Like,
yeah,
you got
they kinda
two- like-
split the gaze.
The Dawnbreaker has the Celestial Hammer and the Phase Boots. The Tidehunter has the well, he only just got the Blank Dagger. That he bought that when he was dead, but he has Phase Boots as well. He has the Kraken Shell. He has a level 3 now. You know, they were split very effectively there, and it was going to be actually pretty hard to get rid of them, but no such luck. 2,869 gold passes into the Radiant's hands. Just got
Yeah,
greedy
definitely
there,
overcommitment from that
Yeah.
dire side, but
I think if they
Oh,
had,
yeah?
if
They
they
learn.
had continued the split, they like one of them dies, but not both of them, right? Like
Yeah.
because
Not
I
even
think, like-
guaranteed. They don't really have that great a
Yeah.
lockdown on the Radiant.
yeah, I think it would have been a lot harder for them to get both of them. Like if they had called it right, they'd probably get one, but like they definitely don't get both of them there. If they
Yeah.
had both just
Yeah.
continued to do the split the way that they had done.
Honestly, I think if they
Uh.
just chase the Dawnbreaker, they get 0 for 2. I think they get the Tidehunter if they
Oh,
commit
for
to
sure.
him, but if they
Yeah.
chase the Dawn, there's nothing's happening.
Well, again,
These
they're
are
everyone's
looking
like
to
like,
maybe
silent.
catch out this Medusa bottom
My
here.
God,
He's
they're
just
so hungry
running
for
at her.
Winks, and I mean they're right to do
That's
it.
insane.
Because right now,
No,
this
you got
dude
it.
says, "Oh no, baby." Poorly timed,
Oh, yeah,
timed
this-
global silence. But
Medusa knows he needs to run,
Okay,
but it's too
well,
late.
yeah, just too late. This time there were too many people here. You got the 1 femtosecond Witch Doctor roll, just a little too late in his life. Wacko Dubs was hitting that creep can instead of this fight. I'd like to point that out.
Ooh,
Now
guys, this
he's
is
inside the
awkward. This
Disruptor
is
roll
a
and Disruptor
really.
falls.
That was a
Big weird
really awkward
plays.
team fight though, like with the arena and the trample and stuff. Like they kind of got. Yeah, this is actually great for them. Like they.
Oh.
Ooh.
Like,
Nope,
big
okay,
miss
nope,
there.
so-
That's a huge miss, actually.
Can
Can
we just go back and look at that team fight real fast? Because
Like-
it seemed like it was
No.
gonna be like a wipe the other way, and then suddenly it
Yep.
wasn't.
Well, I mean,
I
I
think the
can tell you
styles
what
are running
happened.
in there was not good.
Yeah, it was pretty simple. Really, it was they used all their team fight ults except Ravage at a kind of bad time. The Global Silence came out to try and stop the Medusa ult. It failed. It came out too late, and she just got rid of the silence anyway, so it didn't stop anything. The Witch
Yeah.
Doctor ult came out 1 femtosecond before he died, so it didn't do any damage, and the Ravage just never came out. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
He was so far away from the fight that he was not able to do it. So the Dire just kind of came in piecemeal without all of their best abilities, those big timer abilities that we were talking about at the top of the game. They just kind of came
Yeah,
in
pretty easy
piecemeal,
to
just got torn
execute,
apart.
and it worked out for them there for sure. That's
Yep.
kind of one of those things where they don't have to think about it. They just cast their abilities, and people are gonna die. Witch Doctor ult's gonna get canceled, and they're gonna punish the enemy team going on them. So good
Mhm.
use
That
of
was a
abilities.
huge swing, kind of like more of what we expected probably earlier in the game, maybe. I don't know.
Yep.
I guess it's
Yeah.
still not super late.
Not
but...
the Morphling.
Oh
Oh,
no.
they're gonna catch
Luckily,
him out
he
here.
was. He already morphed
he's
gonna
his
get
out.
into strength.
Okay,
The-
good cask. Good cask. Silencer in the
Yeah,
back
the-
lines.
This
Not
Primal
Ooh,
might be
Silencer gets a
ready.
witch
here.
kill. Ooh, so. Whoa,
Arena on
two-
2 is going to get the, yep, it does get
Jeez.
the Primal Beast, the Maledict does eventually, with the help of the Morphling. Arena on 2 is going to get the Silencer. A lot of lads still hungry. He
But
wants
that's it.
to
Just
eat the Mars.
Oh, big spear. Nice spear.
Yep, cannot follow up on that. The rest of his team went the other way for the Primal Beast there. Probably rightfully so. Medusa just kind of free farming that whole time. They were right to identify the problem is going to be the Medusa. Medusa can 1v5 this game. There's no two ways about it. Medusa has the capability of 1v5ing in this game. And they were correct.
It definitely
in the
seems
last
to be
the
fight
game
to
plan
identify
here.
it. Problem
But
is that you cannot kill the Medusa
Yeah.
and then lose everyone for it. And unfortunately, this is a really hard team for that to be the case. Like, the Medusa ult just, like, bogs you down. The Mars Arena bogs you down. The Primal Beast bogs you down. The Disruptor Arena and crap, they all bog you down, right? You've got a lot of boggage on the Radiant. That just makes it really hard to just punch through things and get to the person you need to get.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
again I think is why we favored the Radiant draft to begin with, right? Like,
Mhm.
with looking at the cooldowns on the Dire side and like just the general strategy draft of the other team, it just feels like a little bit easier to execute versus, and despite again the like amazing start on like the Silencer and some of these like Dawnbreaker rotations, it still just feels like this like Dusa Arena might just win the day, right? Like one
there's
bad
really-
team fight.
Even if they
I like the
execute it
aggression
poorly,
of
it
the
can win the
Dire
game.
for sure.
I think that's really the
Yeah.
key difference. Like, if the Dire do everything right, because of that combo, it is not necessarily in their hands anyway. They can do everything right and still lose the fight in a game that looks like this. They gotta be very careful about how they pick things as a result.
Yeah, I like the aggression of the Dire team, but they do need to not let it turn into desperation because that's going to cost them the game if they need to be properly aggressive, not just diving T2s
Yep.
Under 20 minutes. I think
And
that's
they also
a big mistake.
definitely can't get too passive either. Like, they definitely need
Yeah.
to play an aggressive, energetic game, or they're just gonna lose anyway. They don't win the long term. There's just no two ways about it.
Yeah, it's a hard game for them because they're on a timer and they got the slightly worse draft, but they're executing best they can. I can appreciate that.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know. Like, is there a world, right? Like where Morphling versus Dusa late game?
Maybe last batch. Again, the
Spawns
slightly
out
too late
and does
global
a better
silence. The
job,
global
right?
silence
Like,
comes
oh,
out
boy.
after the arena is down, after the Medusa ult is already down, after the Primal Beast is already charging it. Does not interrupt that. And as a result, the game's gonna
Great
crash. Okay, never mind.
disruptor ult too.
And as a result, everybody on the Dire just kind of dies. It's very unfortunate. That global silence is a very big part of their fights, and unfortunately, to see it and the Ravage. The global silence of the Ravage, by the way, really shouldn't be coming at the same time to begin with. It kind of was there. The Ravage just took the last few seconds of the
Yeah.
global silence. Really, if anything, it should be the other way around, I think. I mean, I know I was talking about you don't necessarily initiate with Ravage, but that's on a good day. This is turning into a bad day really quick. I think the way you ideally orchestrate team fights is that you wait for them to be under vision, you pop in, get as many people as you can in the Ravage, and then you global silence to stop right after the Ravage is like about to end, like right at that moment. That's when you hit the global silence, I think. Right now,
Yeah,
that seems
I
like your
think-
best battle plan.
Yeah, for sure. Like, if you have good vision and you can get that good ravage, definitely the global science is a great way to follow up. The alternative is like, if you don't have great vision and they have escapes where you can global them like out, and then like the ravage follow up because they have blinks or quap, things like that. I think that's like the alternative where you global first and then follow up with the ravage because you have disabled their movement abilities. But I do think in general you want it to be the way you have described it, where the ravage into the global is the follow up because everyone's stunned and then they come down from the ravage and they can't use any abilities. So
Yeah, they can't fight back. Right now, I think the problem that the Dire team has. It's ironic because last week I was talking about a team, the Hero N team, and by last week I mean a few days ago. It felt like the Hero N team didn't know how to win, right? It felt like once they were in the position of winning, they didn't really know what to do to like keep it. They didn't know what to do to actually prosecute the finish. They were just so used to losing, they didn't know what to do when they were winning. This feels like the opposite way. This feels like this team is very used to winning. They got off to a very aggressive start. They're losing the momentum, and it does feel like a little bit they're struggling on how to piece together what do we do when we're not ahead, right? Because they're kind of still playing these fights like they're, a mile ahead. They're still playing these fights like they're expecting to take a lot of casualties very quickly, right?
Yeah, they were up by like 3 or 4K at one point, and now they're behind on the Dire side, so they lost their lead entirely. Actually, a little bit in the favor of the Radiant here, and they're definitely on a timer. The Deuce caught up. Deuce is actually hitting creeps now, and
yeah, the Deuce is now at the top of the net worth chart, and I'm already kind of questioning how you win a game when it gets to this point. Outside of just
I think you need to bring out some smoke plays and
just smoke the Deucer
exactly.
repeatedly and hope to God they don't do anything about it and just don't catch on. Why are we getting a global silence?
Silence on top here. Top, something happening top, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like they were trying to go on Morph here. Yep.
That's the 9-second BKB. Let's see just who was going on who.
I think they wanted to commit for a looter kill here with the silence.
Yeah, I believe that was the case.
Cancel that. Yeah, there we go. Didn't happen though.
I like how he turned into he turned into the guy for a second though.
Good silence. Want to keep your morph up and farming. But this would be a good time for the Radiant to smoke up and make a play after they saw silence committed like that. Even though they don't have BKB on Primal Beast, still they have a lot of abilities up and they gotta use them.
Shoutouts to my friend Neon for showing up to a stream of a game that she's never heard of with a bunch of people that she's never heard of in her life. Neon is one of the people who usually shows up on the streams I do on the off days and what have you. So she's probably very confused right now. Morphling's finished. I am Scotty, so there's that at least.
There's a smoke on the morph.
Yeah.
They don't catch him. What is happening?
They do actually catch him. You can see the glimpse coming, and he does not have any.
There we go.
He already waveformed, yeah.
Yep.
Gotham's gonna fall, followed by the Morphling.
Hello, Dota 2. What the hell is this issue?
Yeah, what is happening? No. Technical difficulties.
You could say that. Could not unpause.
Oh, he manta dodged.
He manta.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he's over there.
I didn't think he could do that with manta. Yeah, he did. Yeah,
that's
he
crazy.
did, or else he would be dead.
Yeah,
good reaction times from Wacko.
Yeah, he manta.
It's not easy.
So that's the good news for Wacko. He got that IS Scotty, he got ganked and Silencer tanked it for him, and everything is good in the world. The only downside is the Medusa has got the Butterfly is quite close to her own IS Scotty at this juncture. They do scan out this Roche, but it's a little. It's hard to see anything.
I'm really bothered by the fact that
just send in one illusion. Yeah. Oh wait, no, you hit bait because the other one, so they knew it was bullshit or what.
It's very low in mana. And he's just sitting here wasting time. I don't like this play from Wacko here.
Really scary. There's a word where they all like blink on him immediately and he dies. Like right.
Yeah, looks like they're setting up the contest, but it's gonna be a little too late in my opinion. Also, no mana. He's just gonna get past 1 Q and that's it.
Yeah.
You got the Witch Doctor here.
He's
One
revealed.
Q in. You can't wait anymore, guys. They're waiting for the Aegis to come out.
A little bit too late.
They were trying to steal the
Ravage?
Ravage, I think.
Yeah.
Going to get Medusa's first life very easily, actually.
This is gonna go down.
Wow. Okay.
This is looking
big disruptor.
Oh,
Big
no.
disruptor. Okay,
Looter's
no,
so
they're
low,
gonna-
though. He's gonna die.
Yeah, they're just gonna kill the Looter instantly. The Maledict comes out on the Medusa. Not exactly who you want to be maledicting.
He's
I'm
gonna get-
afraid.
Nice. Big Medusa ult right there. I'm glad that he committed to that. Looking kind of bad for him
The
though, but
Lich Ult is just gonna tear through the rest of the Dire.
So...
What do you mean? He morphed into Disruptor. And
Yeah,
Matrix gets
I don't
to
know.
sit
I don't
there
know.
with
I
the
don't
Glimmer
think
Cape on.
she has no vision. Like, I don't think they kill her here, did they?
They're going to
Lich is
kill the
manning up
Disruptor.
there.
They're
Yeah,
going
but
to buy back the
she-
Lich. They're going to gush the wrong target.
I think she just mans up here, right? Like, this is
Morphling.
not
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yep.
Just
yeah.
sat
great.
there. Oh no,
Yeah,
but
no, that's why.
that was
And she got
almost. That was
Yeah.
almost really cool. I think they, unfortunately for them, they couldn't wait for the Aegis. They were waiting for the Aegis to pop because they were hoping there was going to be a second, and it was just like Medusa was going to have to bring something out of her inventory to get the Aegis. That wasn't the case. She had already preempted the slot, so they dropped the Ravage
Yep.
after the Aegis was already taken. The fight started
didn't
out
catch her.
okay,
Up
but
and manning up on a Medusa.
Oh, no.
I don't know if that's
okay,
the
okay.
play, brother. Medusa needs to run now, though.
Disruptor.
Sean, stop using Maledict on the Medusa. It doesn't work. It's bad vision.
So...
Yeah,
it
I
kinda
mean,
feels
it
like
was, but you
our-
can't have good vision in the Roche Pit, Dusty.
Is under attack.
Then they did actually. They scouted him out with the Morphling illusion, so they knew where he was. They knew, I think,
So it-
where everyone was when they did that. At least broadly, knew where everyone was when they did that. It just the actual execution did not really come
It
out.
was just too late.
They-
and
they
had to
were- they
walk
were
the
really
whole
just
team over.
gambling.
They had no mana.
I
It
think
was,
they
a
were
lot of
really
bad
just
things.
gambling on let's wait for the because I noticed everyone was very close to the pit when they decided to do oh hello Doughboy somebody Inno gave you a gift sub. They were very close to the pit. They were waiting when they used the Ravage, right? Like Tide was waiting, so I think it really was they were trying to bait out, waiting for the Aegis announcement, then just trying to Ravage and steal it, and that's how they were going to take the fight, and it just did not come out that way. And in fairness,
Yeah.
had it come out that way, then it was going to be like I think that would have been a really good fight for the Dire, but it was just I think it was just that was the time for the safer play. When you're behind, you do the safer play, and the safer play I think in that case is Morphling Q's into the pit, you have the Witch Doctor stand just outside, throw the cask in, throw the Death Ward in. I'm pretty sure you can still cast Death Ward inside the pit from outside of it. Not 100% confident, but
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
So I think that was the time for that play. They were doing the higher risk, higher reward play at the time where I don't know if they could really afford the risk. The very
All of a
least,
sudden, this is looking rough for them. I think the Medusa
yeah.
probably finished her
oh
Scotty
no,
by
it's
now.
not all of a sudden looking really
Yeah.
rough for them. It's been looking
Yeah.
really rough for them for like the past 3 team fights. Like it's
I think it's looking a bit dire for the Dire team right now.
When
It
do
used
such
to
a
be
funny
bad, but
note.
now it's very bad.
when
Which is kind of funny considering the net worth, right? Like, because it's actually not that far off, but it does feel like.
Well,
our pre-game predictions of
there's
the
only
draft
one
are-
reason it's that close. It's because Gotham has way more money than any of the Radiant supports. Take away Gotham's
True,
money,
yeah.
and it's like nobody else is ahead of their counterpart.
Yeah, subtract 4K from him and put him closer to the other supports, and then yeah, you're right.
Often taken
yeah.
far from his team. Classic.
No,
Classic
I don't
Gotham
know.
plays.
I think it was more just like early kills, right? Like you got a
No,
lot
it
of
was
brain drain early.
it was him stealing farm. It was definitely that.
Yeah, can we check the kills really quick? I'm curious how the kills are
Oh my
divided
god,
here.
look at all those last hits. He has almost
Yeah,
as
that's a
many as
lot
attack.
of losses on a support silencer. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Oh, he's farming right now. So yeah, you're right. Not wrong. Look
Yeah,
at-
I'm
look at
just
that.
saying, like,
Look
no
at that.
flame. It's
Yeah.
just like what's actually happening in the game. Is a lot of last hits on a support silencer. I
He has
think.
his Ags actually. Just notice he has both Ags and the shard.
Has been killed.
Might
Damn.
work for them.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Wacko Dubs is kind of in the middle of a lot of shine
Oh,
here.
just
luckily.
walked by each other. Wow. Okay.
Scared of him, I guess.
Morphling has about 1 trillion strength right now. Look at that 4K HP he's got.
Yeah.
Oh, they're this is this Winx play here is pretty aggressive on the Medusa. That is
Yeah, he says.
definitely
don't care
not efficient trading, but
Whoa!
That was
okay.
cow.
pretty good
working.
bait, I think.
yeah.
Oh, the response was
Chucker
pretty
ult's
good.
going
but-
off.
Response was pretty
That
good,
was-
but they were missing a guy, and they're just too far behind at this point, I think.
Yeah, they're all going on different targets. This is really bad execution from the Radiant.
they
Everyone
just
chased
lost
a
three.
completely different target, and
Even
no one
though-
actually died on the Dire team.
Even though this looked like it was going to be really bad for the Dire, it looked like they were just all about to get just completely trounced again. It's actually 5-for-1.
Yeah, that's not good.
okay.
Wow, that's so wild. Actually, it really did seem like it was not. It was not gonna. It looked like it was gonna go the other way.
My
For
life
sure.
for a...
I just
With
think you
the
can't really do
arena-
that. Like the Medusa posturing so aggressively under the tier 3 tower is just the tier 2 tower is just not good, right? The enemy team gets so much more armor and a little bit of health regen, and like you're hitting into that as a Medusa without your Ags to slow them down and keep them away from you. It's just not going to be a good fight if you're fighting them under the tier 2 tower. It's a little too early still for her.
Funnily, it almost
Yeah.
worked out as well. Like the Dire's response to it was a little hasty. They used a lot of their ults a little too early.
Yeah.
And it looked like it was going to be a bad encounter, but the problem is somebody mentioned that everyone on the radio was hitting different targets, and the result of
Yeah,
that
they
was
were.
is that nobody on the Dire was actually dying. Everyone on the Dire was getting
Yeah.
very low, but nobody was actually getting killed. And so the
It looks like
Dire,
the Witch Doctor was gonna die, but he didn't, and then
yep,
yeah.
they
Yeah,
have
he
a
got
little,
almost a full duration ult on
little
Witch
funny guy who
Doctor,
just
which
got
shouldn't be happening.
overrated.
Oh, just got deleted. That's what should have happened in that fight. If that had happened
Yeah.
in that fight, if they pick their targets and they say, hey, we need to kill this guy every single time, then this could be executed way better, but they're lacking in execution with that last fight.
That
Need to
last
pick a
fight
target
took
and
it
go for
from
it.
63-37 favoring Radiant to 55-45 favoring Dire. 56-44 now.
Still up.
I mean, well, it was
Oh.
like I think an 8K gold swing, right? I think Radiant
was
up like
6K.
2K or something.
6K.
Okay, yeah, they were
Yeah,
up
you
by
just
like
swung it
1,000,
back.
and then they swung
just
it back to 5K. So
very
this fight
casually-
is
Again,
wild.
everyone
Deuces-
different targets. This is
Split,
horrible.
Primal's
I
on
need
their back.
I need like 3
Okay,
TVs
okay.
for this. They're gonna take out the Dire
Alright, so-
support
so-
line here.
Ooh,
Take out the
Mars
top
and Lich here, but we've got Primal and Dusa coming in from the back line.
Yeah, that
So
Ravage.
A little awkward charge
Yeah.
in.
That Ravage was just slightly
Deuce is
badly
still-
positioned, unfortunately for him.
Oh,
barely
Dawn
didn't
with
get the
the
primal.
blade mail and the swing with the shard, and now that's got to be BKB. The shard's
It's gonna be kill on the Lich,
So
maybe.
Lich
Okay, it
dead
is.
for
It's just
sure.
Dive's gonna get the job
Primal
done.
comes back in with the trample. Oh, Dawn ulti. Oh,
Dawnbreaker.
Witch
Dawn
Doctor
ult
channel
for feet
in
again.
with the Witch
ult
Doctor
on
with
the
the TP
Dusa.
in with the channel.
Big,
Oh
big
my
Witch
gosh.
Doctor ult.
Huge channel. Oh, Stun by the Mars dead.
Oh,
And,
dodges that spear.
Switcheroo switches them.
That was clean.
And Tide Shiva's not gonna get him. Mars tries to TP out. Oh, can't get out. Can does make it out.
Very
Holy cow, wild.
Very unfortunate there. That would have been a really big situation for the Dire. That would have been like a huge turn of events for them if it wasn't for the morph going down there. If it wasn't for that, that would have
Ooh,
been like
Mars
a
big,
big
big.
arena
Mars
here.
Yep.
deletes the Witch Doctor.
Mars Arena
And a Witch
was
Doctor
on
ult.
the
on top of the
Witch
thing.
Doctor ult.
These guys
But
can't
the-
actually
but
get the job done. Maybe this guy can. Though.
Dude, the
Bonk,
Dawn
bonk,
blade
bonk.
mail doing so much damage. Yep. And
Yep.
the Tide shard.
just get rid of those.
Okay, never mind.
Overstayed on this
Oh.
tower when it was just too low. Lad's going to take all the damage in the world, but he is still going to go down at the end of the day. So yeah, that was
Okay.
every bit of momentum
was
they
something.
could have gotten from that fight. Even the world where Morphling didn't die in that fight, now they definitely just lost out. Just way overstayed
Yeah.
there when they were just out of health, out of mana.
These
Which is
fights
too bad.
are very low mar fights, I will say. I think they're very scattered.
I think
They're
both
way too
teams are
drawn
just,
out. They're chasing hard. It's on
both
both
teams
sides.
are just so
not just one
pressured.
side,
Yeah. I think the
Yeah.
GRaff team is realizing the situation they're in, and they're getting very desperate to get anything. Like they're getting very desperate to get especially the kill on the Medusa, which again, good for them for identifying that this is the big identifying target. We're not really that long from now to get to the point where it's like, if you take 4 people and didn't kill the Medusa, you didn't win the fight. You know what I mean? If
Right.
everybody on the
Yeah.
Radiant dies except Dusa, you still didn't win the fight. We're getting very close to the point where that's all that matters. And
Dire's top
they are
tower is
correctly
under
identifying that fact, and they are playing around that, but they're just so desperate to actually get the kill. They're really throwing their lives away very easily here. And
It's really too bad because that Witch Doctor TP back in with the ulti was he's dead again.
Deleted again. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say that was actually like a really heads up play and like got them in the advantage, but then the overstay was the then led to what the situation we're in now, where if they had just backed off there, probably like they could have gotten a tower, like just backed off, got cooldowns back, got everyone back up, farm jungle, and then like pushed once the morph was back up. They probably like none of this happens, like right, like just they push their advantage there.
Morphling's working on a disperser here, trying to get rid of some of these slows and debuffs, which is kind of
Radiant's
interesting.
middle tower is under attack.
I mean, it's also like a Medusa thing, right? Like if he can right-click the Medusa with Disperser,
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
I mean, he already had the Diffie, and I don't think that increases when you finish it, but
I mean, it's more attack speed.
okay,
right?
we
Like everything
got
else.
we got global silence. This is a pretty good global silence. You got all these supports in a bad position.
Big
Faithless does
disruptor.
use the old scepter to stop the old. Oh no, Morphling is
Ooh,
just
no Ravage.
annihilated.
No Ravage. Oh, there we go. Get the Ravage finally.
Yeah, Ravage finally, but just a little too
Oh,
late.
they're split. The
Unfortunately.
Witch Doctor switcheroo. He can't hit the real one. He's dead.
Yeah, and now you got these two in the
Mars
arena here.
Arena dies. Oh, this is awkward. This is really awkward for the Deuce. She's stuck now. Right?
Yeah,
Like
we have a buyback here. coming
Dawnbreaker's
out from
gonna
Primal
hammer.
Beast.
the Gotham's just hitting her with the glaives. He realizes that he's got to switch to the Gotham. Oh, is it
Looter's
enough?
in.
And yeah,
Looter's
he does.
back in
Looter's
for the
back.
buyback. It's
Titus
over,
break
man.
out.
I think this
Dawn's
is it.
dead. Yeah. Yeah, gotta be.
4 for 4.
Well-
Buyback on the Primal Beast. And again, usually this would be, this would be bad for the Radiant. Even this does not track. Gold Change does not track your buyback, so they did probably lose money for that technically. But who cares when Medusa just got $2,000, right? Like,
Yeah, that is
Oh,
that is
for sure.
huge for the Radiant team.
I think it's about over at this point, honestly.
You know, I
don't- I
really
don't-
don't like the Morphling's Diffu pickup. I feel like this might be controversial, but he needs an MKB. It's kind of useless if you can't even hit the Medusa. Like, she kind of is just, nothing's gonna happen to her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
it's only 35% evasion,
Dire's middle tower.
Yeah, but it's
Simply
still,
tell
I'd rather
somebody
get
to
that
build,
raw
like-
damage out.
Simply tell somebody else to build Bloodthorn. That still does that, right?
Yeah, but who?
Yeah,
Don't
but
let
who's gonna
nobody
build
does it
that?
on their team? Like the Silencer? Like Silencer's never
I guess
getting
so. Silencer's
Right?
What do you
farming
mean
anyways,
Silencer's
so
never
maybe,
getting that?
maybe he
Silencer
can get it,
is
yeah.
the ballingest support in the universe. Silencer's
Okay,
building a
sure.
pressure orb.
He's
Sure,
right under the
great.
enemy mid laner in terms of net worth. Like, maybe he could have gotten it, I guess.
Yeah, he's just under both mids. So yeah, there you go. Get the Silencer to do it. Simple as. Can't get True Strike from
Yeah.
someone else's Bloodthorn anymore? Ah, that's slap.
No, there you go.
I don't know.
You need
I
that
think it's
MPG on
a
somebody.
damned if you do, damned if you don't situation because you don't do damage if you don't hit her, and if you have MKB, you're never gonna win the fight. I don't think you're just lacking. Like the MKB stats too bad for that. So you can either gamble and maybe get the kill, or definitely not get it. That's your two options.
It's a hard one. I think you can swap out those Vlads for an MKB at least, but that's
yeah,
too
definitely.
many items.
You can definitely
They're
get
too
it at
expensive,
this point.
so I don't think we'll get that far into the game.
Yeah, I don't remember. I would be interested to know the timings on the Morph Butterfly and the Dusa Butterfly. Because
Oh, he
I
just
think
got that
she
very
went...
recently. She got that
Okay,
like
yes.
10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Big
so-
arena here on
Just deployed
Silencer.
their very first sub.
Deleted.
No silence used.
Shout outs to Renee for this up.
He doesn't have buyback either.
Yeah, Morph was like way after. He finished Disperser, lost his Silencer, who's kind of turning into a pinata for the Radiant. Like, this Silencer having this much net worth is ironically starting to turn into a bad thing. It's like not enough to
Yeah,
save
it's
him,
actually-
it's just enough to make him a very valuable kill.
Yeah, it's actually
Yeah.
bad.
Catching the Morphling again. This is a very
Yeah,
aggressive
Mars
play
is
for the
doing
Mars.
big
I
plays
love
here.
it. This is crazy
He
talk,
dodged
but
Wow.
it's
the
like
idol.
genius. Morphling just has to
Oh,
go
he morphs
home.
out. But at what cost? Which
Do
sucker
so
buyback?
here. Yeah, they're
Tide
getting,
Gush, Tide Stun,
very
Tide,
aggressive.
like, Tide tossed up, like, oh, Morphling's in deep.
yeah, he
Oh, good
is.
glimpse.
The Medusa's also in
But
deep.
Deuce just spitting. Yeah, she doesn't care. She just like
she's
oh,
about
no,
to
maybe
care.
She,
She just lost a lot of HP with the Maledict on her.
oh my gosh, it's
Level
so
S
close.
is coming.
They all die.
So many, just so
more
much just crap on her head
out.
all the time.
Holy cow! Why?
Every time the Medusa's in trouble, 19 buffs! 19 buffs pop onto this Medusa's head. Every time she's in trouble, she always gets some kind of damage berry. She always gets some kind of, just everything.
Oh, disruptor die. Okay, well, again, it's like, yeah, they team wiped them almost, but
Who cares? Didn't get the Medusa.
two buybacks, Dawn and Witch Doctor buyback, and like doesn't matter.
Which means this is probably actually like a 3k gold swing, so put them into the lead. How'd they fall out of it, really? 2k gold swing for the Radiant here. I mean, yeah, you can see it. Just this last few minutes, these buys,
LD2L
really
game
changes.
for sure with these graphs.
Illusion.
Hey, I mean, better that than the LD2L game that we've been getting the last few seasons, where it's like a graph very slowly goes down, and then the team that's down defends for 30 minutes, and then they lose.
That is true. That is not fun, Dota. I'd rather watch this.
Radiant's middle tower has
Yeah, show me the throws.
So with the Morphling, right? Like, there's probably an argument that the butterfly was the wrong item, right? Like, and it should have been a MKB. Or
Yeah,
I
think I would say that. Like, I was fine with the Diffie, especially because it came out so early. It came out way earlier than the butterfly. I would say
but
the
the
mistake was
butterfly,
the butterfly. Like, get the MKB instead
at
of that,
that
and I think you're
timing.
talking.
Yeah, right, because Dusa already had the butterfly at that point, so it probably should have been like the MKB or the Bloodthorn even, right? Like
He has a satanic queued up, so I don't think he's really making
He's not thinking about it at all.
decisions. He's kind of just buying maybe items that he thinks might be good.
He's following that Tortellini.
Yeah.
mm.
I don't think he actually needs that lifesteal either. He just needs to kill them faster.
Yeah, he's like surviving for a very long time in fights. It's just that the damage gap at this point is so intense, it doesn't matter.
Oh no,
It's just what I
this
was
is
talking
bad.
about.
This is really bad. This is
Global
so bad
silence
for them.
here, coming
Yeah,
out
no,
again.
Witch Doctor's dead. Witch Doctor no buyback.
Just always,
Morphin's
it's
dead.
just always the sad case. It's like you always just see this global silence. It feels like this game
Dawn's
after
dead.
everything's already
no
out.
buyback. Yeah, this is game for sure.
Yeah.
Gotta be. Like, right. Dawn's dead for
Witch
her.
Doctor didn't even get
Buyback.
to ult.
Yeah, that was brutal.
We're really seeing the easy to execute draft kind of come on top here. They all click their abilities and people die.
Honestly, I think in a lot
mean-
of cases, I would not say that the ease of draft was a defining thing. I think it was just the execution. The GRaff team had very good execution early, but the itemization, it just kind of came out rough. Just like the decision making on the team level hurt them a lot. Like the decision to like overstay, it just felt
They're
like
just
you
going
saw
for
a
the end
lot.
here.
Yeah, they're just
ignoring
going right
the
for it. I mean,
rocks.
why not? They're,
Yeah, why
they're not
not?
going to have like the one
Yeah,
problem for a long time.
They know Dawn doesn't have
two
buyback,
heroes. Yeah,
so-
well, and Witch Doctor. They know Witch Doctor doesn't buy back either, so they have 2 heroes out for 30 to 60 seconds. So.
And they're about to have four
Lad's gonna
apparently, because
stall.
Lad's Lads has decided to offer one more sacrifice to the kill death assist chart here. But-
Okay, so I think what we
GRaff
talked
told
about,
G's
right?
grown out.
Yeah, there we go.
GG's.
I think, but before everyone else gets into it, because it's my party and I do what I want to. Yeah, I think a lot of it came down for the other team was just looter, right? Everybody else, it just felt like they were just kind of food. But the longer things went, it felt like they were able to just build around like I think it.
Nope.
Yeah,
I lost him.
I
I
lost
didn't.
him.
I didn't even know my Discord was dead. It turned into really just leaning on the draft situation because I think in the mid game these teams had pretty close to the same execution. It's just the problem is the GRaff team knew that the way they won this game was to kill the Medusa, and the Hollywood team, without Hollywood, knew the way you win this game is you 4 protect 1 Medusa. Oh, geez.
Yeah,
Come
Going
on. Let me
again.
alt tab. There we go.
He'll be back.
Yeah,
Sure,
dude,
there we
I don't-
go.
Oh,
Back.
Yep.
you back?
Yep. Just some loading. You know how it goes. But either way, I think the key thing is the situation turned into the GRaff team knew they needed to kill the Medusa. The Hollywood team knew they needed to just protect one the Medusa, and like they really were just prowling. Like the Maledict Plague Theory just started having to prowl on the mistakes that Hollywood team really just wasn't making. Like if they were able to get the Medusa at all, it always came with this big immediate follow up that just killed everybody, right? Like every single time. The real issue is, I think, is that if Maledict Plague Theory did not get a massive head start, then that was always going to have to be their game plan. They were always going to have to like rely on the Hollywood team making mistakes to win, just because of those issues that just stem from the draft. Because of those issues, just like most notably that damage gap. Like maybe the before the Morphling nerf from the last patch, he could have swung this, but like really, for the most part, for most of this game, they had two sources of damage: the Dawnbreaker damage, which is not easy to get on a lot of people, and the Witch Doctor roll. And that was it. And every fight where the Witch Doctor roll wasn't the most ballin' thing in the world, they just didn't win. And there were some fights where the Witch Doctor got these huge crazy ults, and they did have a nice time there. But when that wasn't the case, when the Witch Doctor wasn't sitting there just raw dropping on like 4 people and getting them, it was just like everybody would just coalesce on the Medusa, and she would just be winning like 1v3s and shit, just because they just couldn't kill her. They just lacked the damage. I think that was the big key thing for this game. Like the damage gap I was talking about way back in draft, it just came to be in such a bad way. In particular, one of the biggest things they had to deal with the damage gap was the Maledict, which unfortunately is literally useless against Medusa. That skill doesn't do anything to her, basically. Because, for those of you in the audience who are not aware, Maledict is a simple skill, programming-wise. It is literally just the difference between your current HP and your last HP. However much HP you've lost between those two ticks, that's as much damage as you take, where that gets added to the damage. And since Medusa rarely takes HP damage, that means Medusa is rarely affected by Maledict, and when she is, she's almost guaranteed to be dead already. There was one time where she dropped into her HP bar and didn't die as a result of it in the big fight past the T3's bot going uphill. That was about the only time, just because there were just so many, like the Glimmer Cape, the Crimson Guard. There's just so many buffs slapped onto that person's head.
Can you scroll over a little bit to?
Sure. Yeah,
All
if you
right.
wanna talk about damage gap, there's a nice little display for you
Yep.
right there.
Great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's rough.
that's all I wanted to see. So that's kind
Yeah.
of like the story of what you were just describing. So
The Dawnbreaker alone, who the top damage on Dire is not even second place on the Radiant, right? Like it's that big of a damage gap, and nobody else is even close. I mean that Morphling in particular, I don't want. Sorry, Wacko, if you're in the audience today, I do not want to see that Morphling again. I'm afraid it felt very rough. It just felt so out of place in this game. The execution on it just did not come out well, and he just didn't do. The guy did less damage than Tidehunter, which if you're Morphling, that's not good.
That's a bit rough. I think
Yeah.
the itemization for him definitely needs a little work.
Yeah,
Hopefully we get to see some of that in the second match.
yeah. We'll see what happens next time.